This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 441. Follow Your Own Rules to Crush Life by Craig Ballantyne with RomanFitnessSystems.com, and I'm Dr. Neil. Hey there, welcome to another week of Optimal Health Daily, where I act as your narrator of the best health and fitness blogs, all for free. We cover fitness, nutrition, stress management, weight management, and lots more. This is just like an audiobook, but from a bunch of different authors. And then on Fridays, I answer your questions right here on the show. I'm super excited this week because we're only 3 days away from baseball's official opening day. Can't control myself. Now, if you're not a big fan of seeing folks crush baseballs like me, well then let's jump right into today's post and learn how to crush life. How was that segue, huh? All right, so let's jump right in and start optimizing your life. Follow Your Own Rules to Crush Life by Craig Ballantyne with RomanFitnessSystems.com. As a boy, our hero was plagued with poor health. He was weak and often sick, miserably addicted to sugar and junk food. But his life, and our world, changed at the age of 15 when he heard a speech from health food pioneer Paul Bragg. The young man, Jack LaLanne, was so inspired by Bragg's electrifying lecture that he immediately cut out all white flour and sugar. In just 2 weeks, he felt like a new man, and within a year, he went from scrawny to brawny and became the captain of his high school football team. He spent the next 8 decades almost single-handedly creating the fitness industry from scratch. From opening the first commercial gyms to hosting the first fitness show on television, LaLanne became America's advocate for improving health and productivity through diet and exercise. He was a pioneer, and as such, he had to endure his share of critics. When he opened his first gym in Oakland in 1936, his haters called him a musclehead and claimed that weight training would cause heart attacks in men and the masculinization of women. This was at a time when the idea of lifting weights for health was unheard of, and the mainstreaming of fitness was still 4 decades away. But he persevered, building a chain of 200 health clubs that he later sold to Bally Fitness. LaLanne's success was built upon routine. Daily workouts began immediately upon waking before 5 a.m. After stretching, he lifted weights for up to 90 minutes and followed that with a 30-minute pool workout. He kept this up for over 60 years, well into his 90s. Along the way, he launched the Jack LaLanne television show, inspiring millions of Americans to take up exercise, become more productive, and live fuller, longer lives. LaLanne was featured on countless covers of magazines, at first shirtless, and later in his trademark jumpsuits, often performing one of his feats of strength. His fame grew thanks to his annual record-setting workouts, the most well-known being his handcuffed swims from Alcatraz to Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. His legendary fitness feats also included a world record of 1,033 push-ups in 23 minutes at the age of 42, swimming the Golden Gate Channel while towing a 2,500-pound boat at age 43. The swift ocean currents turned this 1-mile swim into a distance of 6.5 miles. 1,000 chin-ups in 1 hour and 22 minutes at age 45, the year that the Jack LaLanne show began broadcasting across America. A second swim from Alcatraz Island to Fisherman's Wharf, this time at age 60, and again while handcuffed and towing a 1,000-pound boat. And finally, a 1-mile swim at age 70, handcuffed, and towing 70 rowboats from the Queensway Bridge in the Long Beach Harbor to the Queen Mary. Surprisingly, LaLanne didn't love to exercise. Quote, "It's a pain in the glutes," he said. "But you gotta do it. Dying is easy. Living is tough. I hate working out. Hate it. But I like the results." He also said, "Besides, I can't die. It'd ruin my image." He also knew that a trained body was a healthy and productive one. Quote, "The only way you can hurt the body is not use it," he said. To avoid plateaus and overuse injuries, he changed his exercise routine every 30 days. LaLanne followed 2 simple nutrition maxims. "If man made it, don't eat it," he preached to Katie Couric, adding, "If it tastes good, spit it out." In a 2004 interview, he said, "Would you give your dog a cigarette and a donut for breakfast every morning? People think nothing of giving themselves that for breakfast, and they wonder why they don't feel good." He was even one of the first people to follow a 16-8 fasting protocol. LaLanne's daily diet included only 2 meals. Lunch was at 11 a.m. and consisted of 3 to 4 hard-boiled egg whites, a cup of soup, and oatmeal with soy milk, raisins, and a plate of fruit. If eating at a local restaurant, he would order the Jack LaLanne special of 10 raw vegetables and 4 egg whites hard-boiled. At 7 p.m., he and his wife would have supper, also at a local restaurant, where he would have fish and vegetables. He avoided red meat, but would sometimes eat roast turkey. Along with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tony Little, and Jane Fonda, Jack LaLanne was one of the most recognizable ambassadors in the early years of the health and fitness movement. His long life, fitness feats, entrepreneurial success, and infectious energy make a strong case for including exercise, healthy eating, and rest in your daily routine. Lest you think that it was all work and no play in Jack's day, he assures you he was not made into a dull boy with his routine. He enjoyed a glass of wine with dinner each night, and when asked about his life, LaLanne was quick to say, and with great enthusiasm, that he and his wife still made love almost every night well into their later years. When LaLanne passed away at age 96, his image was not ruined, as he had once joked. Instead, it was greatly enhanced. America and the world had changed its attitude about fitness and nutrition thanks to Jack. A look at his long and happy life and the value of his daily routine, his ability to control the mornings and win his days, his power to command the chaos amid the unpredictability of eating and exercising while traveling, will inspire you to do the same. You know from experience what good food and exercise can do for your sleep and energy levels. The big question is, how do you stick to it? Your transformation into a high-performance machine and to make a healthy lifestyle as simple and easy as possible requires you to create a rule for healthy living. Having this rule will save you a lot of time, trouble, and temptation. It will maximize your health, energy, and productivity. It will allow you to reach your goals more quickly and more easily. Your rule will help you avoid eating too much or too late at night. It will minimize the number of sleepless nights you have from too much caffeine. It will reduce the number of unnecessary hangovers that slow you down. You need to create a rule that Jack LaLanne would approve of. Yours might go something like this. I go to bed and get up at the same time 7 days per week. I stick to my diet, avoid caffeine after 1 p.m., eat dinner no later than 7 p.m., and avoid alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. Your rule will vary based on the details of your life, but the one I just mentioned is a good one to model. Your rule should be similarly straightforward and specific. Identify when and what you will do for exercise, how you will eat, and when you will go to sleep. Keep things simple, clear, and concise. Having this rule will help you avoid relying on willpower to get through your days. Instead, you'll have more brain power to devote to the tough decisions in your life. When you consistently include the right diet, exercise, and sleep patterns in your daily routine, and when you have committed to them as one of your rules, you will have the energy you need to support your journey to your big goals and dreams. Take this energy and devote it to your cause and create a lasting legacy for your life, like LaLanne. You just listened to the post titled, Follow Your Own Rules to Crush Life by Craig Ballantyne with RomanFitnessSystems.com. Jack LaLanne was truly an inspiration. I've mentioned on this show many times before how routines, consistency is the key really for most things in life. If you're thinking about fat loss or weight gain or muscle gain, it all comes down to consistency. And as the author mentioned in this post, we all know what we should be doing, right? It's doing it that's the problem. And in order to take that first step, I'm a big fan of writing down goals, much like the one the author mentioned. Here's the problem with our brains. When our brains are tired of having to think, we tend to make poor decisions. When we have choices in front of us after a long day, we're not going to be able to pick the right choice for us. Why do you think they have impulse buys at the front of the supermarket? After an hour of shopping and exhausting yourself with all these choices, you go to the front, and all of a sudden, after all of that exhaustion, everything kind of looks good. 3 candy bars for $1, that sounds great to me. That's why they put those things there. They know by the time you're done shopping, your brain is so taxed, anything will sound good at that point. And you want to know something really sneaky? Companies will pay extra to have their products right near the cash register because they know that's the place where people will choose these not so great options. I know, totally sneaky. So here's the deal. We need to create rules for ourselves that don't require us to think or have to make a choice. That way, when we get home after a long day of stress, we look at our rule and go, this is what I have to do. There's no choice. It's just, that's what it is. If you can stick to that rule, that specific one, that concise, straightforward one, more often than not, you will see progress. So what's the first step for you? Create that rule. Now, before I go, don't forget, we have 4 other podcasts where we narrate blogs for you. We cover a bunch of different topics. So to subscribe to those, just search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this show. I thank you in advance for doing that. Thank you for being here every day. I hope you have a great start to your week. I'll be back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.